Alright, hello, welcome to my YouTube video on a totally different mod for this game. As you can see, I have the music volume slider set down to 0, and that's because of the mod I'm about to jump into and explain real quick in the extensions. I mostly have some quality of life mods enabled. On is enabled, off is disabled. Better docking with ships is something that can be tested when one of the game starts, and I'll show that off with it turned on. And then you just have to. I think you might have to just try that without that mod and see how kind of unbearable that the game is without that mod when you play with the carrier. Do note that the version number is 0.13. It is not the 2.0 most current version of this mod because that one has bugs, glitches, and everything like that. So until that gets fixed, this is the current working version of this mod. Check the date on the video down below if this is still true, or check the mod to make sure it's if it has been updated or not, whether it's working and this is no longer correct. But for me right now, this is the current working version of this mod. Um, but like all the mods, I don't feel like I need to go over and explain what they do. The description is here in the right hand side. I will click on all of them. I believe Chill Turrets is working very good. I don't know if Chill Tweaks is working or not. Crystal Finder is working. This one is working. Expert Auto Trader, Advanced Auto Trader makes the trade ring the auto trade longer, gives another job, Expert Auto Trader, even further range. This one is working as far as I know. Faster boarding pods, Go Fix Your Face is working with the Star Wars mod. Larger asteroids only seems to be working. Of course, always have your mod support APIs. This specific mod is working. The more crystals, no purple variant is working. It just after you initially generate the sectors, they need to regenerate their asteroid fields for most of the asteroid mods to take effect. I'm not sure if this one is working. No crafty music working. I don't know if no explosion damage mod works or not with the Star Wars mod. I haven't played enough to figure that one out yet. All the asteroid mods have to regenerate fields. No Stardust because I hate it. Same with the static noise, quiet transport room, all of those are just quality of life. Dirty glass, quality of life. Star Wars, the Star Wars mod uses some of the base game docs, so this one works. And then this is the mod I'm talking about, the Star Wars Interworlds mod. I do have the Star Wars Clone Wars mod. It wasn't working compatibility-wise when I was testing with it, so I turned it off. Sector Explorer works, and this is the Steam Workshop version. Notice the workshop number right there. So that's the most current version I could find and is working with the Star Wars mod. Same with Sector Satellites, except for Sector Satellites is download off of the Nexus. This is working, simple radar. And then last but not least, the Guthrie UI extensions and HUD. I would like the Colorized Factions mod to work, but it doesn't seem to work with the Star Wars extension. And then I would normally I would turn this one on to test it, but the mod author of the Star Wars Interworlds mod has already removed whatever these sounds were or didn't add them. So Praise be to the mod author of Star Wars Interworlds. Yes, I don't know how to say those words. So yeah, praise be to all of those people. Let's get into some of the really fun parts of the mod.
You have not yet been formally accepted into the Alliance's armed forces due to various reasons, but you decided to join the fight anyway. Some old friends helped you to join the security training program, and now, after graduation, you have the right to own a starfighter to perform security duties. With your trusty E-Wing, prove to the New Republic that you are a worthy pilot.
So the first thing I didn't expect from this very well done mod is there's voice acting. And I believe that's AI generated voice lines, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And the only reason I think that is because of some of the words get pronounced uh, strangely. So I'm not going to go through all of these. All of these are different starts. This is just choose your own flavor of which faction do you want to be friends or enemies with, and whose good side or whose bad side you want to be on. They're all fairly equivalent starts. The standout would be the Kuat Merchant. You start out with a few more ships, and I believe that's the only one that stands out as anything different. But they all start you out with less than 1 million credits or money, whatever, cash, whatever you want to call it. I think the lucky winner starts out with, yeah, even that
Fortune
starts out.
favors the
So
bold in a heated game of Sabacc. Congratulations! You are now the proud owner of a brand new Sheathipede-class shuttle and a hefty amount of credits.
okay, so uh, they all start out with a less than a million. So even in just going by base game X4 standards, starting having anything less than like 10 million credits is basically you're poor. And so all these starts are just for flavor. They all have voice acted intros, and then some of the more interesting ones are all these advanced ones because they have extra quests. These are all more or less sandbox, as far as I've seen. I've tried them all out just to see. So it's just however you want to start the game. This one in particular is fun.
You are one of the failed Camino experiments, a clone with changes to your DNA different from the regular batch, slowing your aging instead, created to test different approaches to the cloning process. While still receiving good training and care in Tipoca City, you always felt like just another cog in the system, and you wanted more. Luckily, you managed to get off the planet during the raid of the CIS forces on Camino. Going as far as possible to the Outer Rim, you started to work as a mercenary. It was far from easy after the Clone Wars ended. Due to having an appearance similar to other clones, you were considered to be faithful to the Empire and were not welcomed on many planets. Though, with good combat tactics, knowledge, and education, as well as through good service, you ended up as a high-ranking mercenary captain in the CSA, commanding a specially equipped Venator-class Star Destroyer. The last contract you received was to patrol backwater space after reports of ICG ships sighted in the area.
All right, so this is a fun start, and this one is the great showcase of one of the biggest flaws in vanilla game, without any mods, of course. What I mean, with the problem with carriers, a big problem with carriers is when the ships go to dock and sometimes take off from carriers, some of the ships pathing, some ships decide to path through the hull of the ship, and that causes problems for the carrier ship because then it starts uh, pulling or pushing the ship in a direction that you have no control over, and you end up going like way off somewhere in the distance. And that's a vanilla game problem, but with a lot of the ships in Star Wars, like all vanilla game ships are been ripped out, and Star Wars ships have replaced all of them. I imagine the pathing around the Star Wars ships aren't the vanilla ships, so it's also kind of terrible there as well. So the pathing sucks, and I did download a mod to alleviate that problem. And this one, it will be the perfect showcase of that mod, which alleviates the landing part where they come in and try to dock with the ship. So without further ado, let's just jump into this one because it's I think one of the more interesting starts. All of the advanced starts are interesting. They all offer something unique. Okay, so I want all the pop-ups to finish real quick. I also want to stand
Delta
up.
7B.
Okay, so first things first, I want to pause the game and get into my global orders. Okay, I think that'll do for all of that. I also want to rename my character. I do believe the timeline of this is uh, post the Mandalorian show and the latest Star Wars movies. I believe that's what the timeline is because of all the ships available. So I think that will do for all of this. Is it just me or is the audio like super loud for some reason? Let me know on the YouTube video if the audio is exceptionally loud. Some Windows update went through and uh, caused problems for a whole bunch of people and not just myself. So apparently all the audio is just uh, in a bit of a kerfluffle. Or however you say that word. There's a problem with the audio. So this should have set all the turrets up correctly on my main ship. Yeah, that ought to work for those. Okay, I think everything's set up. These already have pre-issued orders. I should win the battle handily. Well, maybe not handily, but I shouldn't have to issue any orders. It should be a I get to watch kind of spectacle. Let's see. So I'm just going to issue that order to this ship I just assigned a pilot. And now I'm going to jump onto a different ship so we can enjoy flying around. Notice there is no research menu, and I haven't figured out if there will be one or not. But I do know that at least the first couple of teleports are unlocked, or maybe it's just the first one, just so that you can get off some of the ships. Some of the ships don't have a way to get out or into the ship. So some of the ships you have to teleport to and from. Uh, yep, let's get into the battle. This should be cinematic and fun.
Delta 7B.
Perfect. I have just received important messages, which are really loud, and I hope that those volume settings get turned down. That will not be the end of the messages.
Incoming missile.
Don't worry about the man standing on top of the cockpit. This is Star Wars canon. I mean, Leia survived out in space without a spacesuit, so I mean, this is being canon to the films. There's nothing to see here, nothing wrong. Everything is normal and within canon. Hopefully the mod author turns down the brightness of if they can, the brightness of the engines, so that way I can actually have the camera behind the ship instead of just seeing orange. It's unfortunate that I can't have the music playing at all because, well, playing Disney music is a good way to nuke your channel, as it were. I don't want that to happen to my YouTube channel. Hopefully the other sound effects also won't slam me with things like that, but we'll see. But for as boring as X4 can be, uh, the Star Wars music can really carry along a very boring movie or series. See the latest Disney offerings on Disney Plus for that one. Yeah, but the music can carry a boring or worse series, shows, movies, you name it. They're all available to watch, I'm sure, so far. But if there may be a few dull moments that I have to cut out through the playthrough of this mod because I don't get to enjoy the music. That's okay. No one likes watching a dull moment, right? Everything kind of looks like a Star Wars battle, even thanks to that one mod. There's no ships stuck inside the carriers, so they actually can maneuver. Let's get onto the Forsaken before it gets blown up by the AI.
Incoming missile. Invisible dart.
Oh, we're getting killed. That's not good. You have the right target selected, don't you? These Arc 170s should be more than enough to destroy the invisible dart all on its own. Let's see if I can get an Aether Spite. Oops. This is how you fix the mod, or fix carrier fights. And it's kind of sad and boring because you don't get to watch the conflict, but the way you fix carrier fights to, especially if you're on the stat sheet, you look, your fleet should wipe the floor with the enemy fleet, is to personally move away from the
Delta 7.
battle, which is incredibly boring, but that's how it is. Once you're personally away from the fight, the combat switches from you being in sector or high attention to out of sector or low attention combat, and then every ship out there just turns into stat sticks to beat each other with, and all of the bullets hit instead of any of them missing. So now that I moved far enough away, we are winning the fight single-handedly, and none of these smaller ships, because they're all despawned, this is just a graphical representation of where they are, none of the ships will get stuck inside the larger ships anymore either. So while that one mod helps ships park, it seems there's bigger problems going on in X4 with carrier combat than um, the ships getting stuck while they're docking.
Jump completed. On calamari. Jump completed. Lothal.
I kind of want to teleport to this ship, but we'll see. I might break the game right here. This ship should be trying to dock with the Venerator, Forsaken. I think it's a Venerator. Should attempt it at least, I think. And what this should be the mod in action. It should show us what happens. The ship should get within a certain range of the carrier and then teleport straight to the landing pad and land. If it is indeed attempting to dock, we'll find out. There we go. And now we are inside the internal storage of the ship where we normally can't be. So that skips the whole docking process. And this ship is just terrible without that mod. And this whole fight goes terribly without that. Because the ship goes floating off. Actually, I could probably disable the mod and show you what I mean. It's a really cool fight, but seems like no matter what mods you have installed, the only solution there is to send a ship out of sector or far enough away from combat that your ships actually use their stats and win. I'm not sure if that's just how the scenario is or what the actual problem is. Oh, okay. That's an interception. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, put it in the right group. It should dock. All right. So there, that was the start. Now then, the atypical messages that were super loud and uh, sounded like R2-D2 squealing in your ears were all these messages. You can pause the video at any time to read these. This just gives you a generic explanation of what's going on in the Star Wars mod, what's different about it, how to change your standing and what you need. And I'll explore these much deeper as I play through, but for now, these are all just things to look at and go, I'll keep that in mind for later. This one explains basically if you have less than 150 million in total assets and everything like that, you're considered a privateer, and that's just a fancy way to say that you are poor. Then you can go up to private company, which is you're still poor, but you have a little bit more than just being poor. Organization, you have figured out how to stop being poor and are now starting to actually get money, and or you've started to grow and have found a way to start making money, and you're more than likely going to hit the remaining few. And then empire is you did it. You made an empire. You are super rich. Hooray! And now I am considered a privateer, and I basically am penniless, even though I have a total asset value of how much? 53 million. Might as well have 0. And then I don't think that takes account of everything you have here as your net worth. I'm not sure how that number is calculated and mailed to you. So there's that. Mandalorian scavengers. There's a whole bunch of new factions. There's two new stat screens, the reputations and the profession screen. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with these screens or how they interact, so that's neato. In this start, I am enemies with the Ascendancy, the Empire, Huts, Anonat, or Anoat. Yeah, okay. The Commerce Guild and the Death Watch, and the New Republic isn't very favorable to me either, which is interesting. That means I depend on the Mon Calamari, and funnily enough, the Rebel Alliance. You know, and I don't have all these sectors explored. None of the starts will give you a good idea of where you're supposed to go or what you're supposed to do, and the overall system with all of the sectors explored is huge. So there's lots to explore and lots of fun to be had. And if we want to go off of this mission, which is unique to this start, um, it actually feels like a full. What it is it feels like a full expansion. It's not. It's the forbidden expansion, I suppose, or the DLC you can't actually sell to anyone because I'm pretty sure Disney would have a problem with somebody making money off of this. So the forbidden DLC that you can't buy with money. I don't know. Maybe if the people who make EOSoft and everybody worked Disney, maybe they could greenlight maybe selling something like this for money, but I doubt that'll ever be possible. Fingers crossed and hope and dream that one day maybe they can make Star Wars official content. That would be pretty cool because the game seems to be able to support it somewhat. If they can figure out how to fix a lot of the base game issues, especially with carriers and large ship combat, That would be pretty epic. I'm trying to think of what to do next. There's a whole bunch of different ways I could jump, and I think as a bonus Easter egg, I am going to go ahead and I will disable better docking with ships, and then restart the game real quick. I'm not gonna do any jump cuts because, yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to do any movie magic. One, I'm kind of lazy, but I'm also like just don't want to deal with the cutting apart a video like that. Homeworld's coming up at the start of next year. That's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait. Or like, yeah, it's coming. It's coming soon, which has me excited and terrified. Hopefully they nail it, and I am completely satisfied with the game and the single player story elements of it that I'm hoping are really, really good. And if they don't nail the multiplayer right off the get-go, I'm not going to be worried about it because they'll have the whole lifetime of the game to fix the multiplayer.
You have not yet been formally accepted into.
So we're going to go over I'm going to go over the same scenario that I just did, just to show you how bad the one mod really fixed a lot of the problems with how the ships, the carrier behavior works, and it was mostly fixed, but we were still losing the fight, which was weird. So I'm gonna have to do everything I just did, but faster. And this is just to showcase the carrier problem. I go into these global orders and then turn off all these because I get a whole bunch of dumb NPCs just blowing up the notification window and annoying me. That's all done there. Oh, I forgot to have I have to do this every time. I wish that I could just set and forget this setting. It's minor gripes, but it is what it is. I think that's all I had to do. Oh, right, I need to stand up.
Delta 7B.
This time I'm going to teleport straight to the Forsaken. I'm not going to change any of the orders. I am going to reassign the service crew to be a pilot, hopefully a 2-star pilot. There we go, full 2-star pilot to the ship I am sitting in. Then issue all the correct orders. Let's see, I think it was this was what it got assigned to last time. So I should have everything all queued up correctly. And let's just watch the disaster in action.
Delta 7B. Incoming missile. Incoming missile. missile. Incoming missile. Incoming missile. Incoming missile.
So we should win on this
Incoming missile.
stat sheet wise, we should win this fight handily. But as you can see, the ship is just not turning around or going back. And it has attack orders too, without me even
Incoming missile.
doing anything. It has attack orders to go destroy this capital ship, but for some reason the ship won't turn around.
Incoming missile.
And disabling that one mod made it so that the ship cannot turn around because somewhere there's a ship stuck in the hull of this Venerator carrier.
Incoming missile.
And now it's finally able to turn around.
Hull damage.
It's cool that missiles have that sound effect. That
Missile.
I'm not sure if that's base game sound effect or if that's a new Star Wars sound effect or the mod Star Wars sound effect or not. I think that's a mod sound effect, but whatever it is, that incoming missile sound is too loud. I don't know how to turn down all these individual noises. I only got a few volume sliders to work with.
Incoming missile.
But in case you just want to run this mod all by itself without
Incoming missile.
without any of the mods that I have, the way you win this fight is the same way we won last time.
Incoming missile.
Well, that was unfortunate. I chose a ship that was going to get destroyed.
Incoming missile.
There we go.
Incoming missile. Delta 7B.
So instead of getting to watch the actual interesting fight, we just resolve this fight by turning all of our ships into stat sticks. By moving out of, it's called moving out of high attention or in sector combat. I know we're still in the same sector, but once you get far enough away, it switches combat. It despawns everything and just has them as visual representations on the map. But all those shots are 100% accurate at that point, and then all of the stats are relevant. Well, except for like speed, maneuverability, anything that causes the ships to dodge each other's shots is thrown out the window, and all your shots are accurate. These are just stat sticks beating each other at this point. But at least the carriers function like they're supposed to when they're out of sector, because the ships can immediately land and take off without having to worry about the collision box of the carrier.
Jump completed. On calamari.
The only thing that's weird about this now is that the vanilla behavior of extra large ships and even large ships is they tend to go right on top of each other and then like stack, and then sometimes even get stuck even just in the map view inside of each other's hitboxes and then spin round and round. And this is a vanilla game problem. And hopefully one day Ecosoft will find a clever way to fix that problem, and then that will fix the problem for every other mod out there too. Because it's a base game problem, not a mod problem. Well, hopefully the carriers get a touch up anyway. They need it. We would really like to play with carriers. Yes, we would in vanilla game. But they need a lot of work still.
Jump completed. Lothal.
Anyway, this is the introduction to the Star Wars playthrough. I just wanted to showcase some funny stuff. One of the reasons I wanted to initially go over the mod list and then show off one of the fun scenarios at the start. And I guess I will continue talking about this until we win or lose the fight. We should win, but it's not looking good this time. Whether I win or lose, I'm still going to quit out and change some mods around because I just realized that the faster boarding pods mod might be affecting one of the other starts, one of the other advanced starts. So I'm going to do some more mod testing, but once I get everything finalized, I think I will go ahead and do a Star Wars themed playthrough if I can on my YouTube channel, if it doesn't get copyright struck and or causes copyright problems. If having none of the Star Wars music but the noises still causes a copyright problem, I guess then I'll have to find a different mod to enjoy via X4 or a whole different game. So that'll be fun. I do have VRO downloaded, and I will be messing around with that as well. So if Star Wars doesn't work out, that would be a darn shame. But I do have another mod to try out and make YouTube videos on. It's getting real close, isn't it? Ooh, looks like we lose this time. Anyway, yep. One mod made that much of a difference, and well, moving out of sector in time helped a lot too. Anyway, that'll be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one as I play around with more mods.